Hello, we're excited to show you around Santiago, Chile.
As we make our journey through this part of the capital of Chile, we will tell you about the different areas' history, trivia, etc.
So, let's get started.
We begin our journey leaving the city of Colina, heading south towards Santiago along Autopista Los Libertadores, also known as Ruta 57. This drive connects the quiet rural edges of central Chile with the bustling capital, crossing landscapes rich in history, culture, and the steady pulse of modern life.
Colina sits about 30 kilometers north of downtown Santiago. The name might sound simple. Colina means hill in Spanish, but its origins go deeper. Some say it comes from an old indigenous name, possibly from a local chief named Colin. Others believe it's from a Mapuche word meaning partridge. Either way, it's a name that predates the Spanish conquest by centuries.
This land was part of the old Hacienda de Chacabuco, granted in the late 1500s. Later, Jesuit priests managed these fertile valleys before they were expelled from Chile in the 18th century. During Chile's struggle for independence, the area played a key role. Patriots regrouped here after the Battle of Chacabuco in 1817, a turning point in the fight against Spanish rule.
As we gain speed on the open highway, take a look around. The terrain is classic central Chile, rolling hills, dry scrub, and a wide horizon framed by the Andes to the east. The Colina Valley sits in a tectonic basin shaped by millions of years of uplift and erosion. Beneath these hills lie ancient fault lines, part of the massive Andean system that still shapes the region today.
Archaeologists have found traces of life here stretching back thousands of years. The Aconcagua and the Aguita cultures once thrived in this valley, farming and trading long before the Incas expanded into central Chile. The Spanish only arrived in the 1500s, layering their own architecture, religion, and governance over a much older world. As we head south, the highway widens. Trucks and commuter traffic start to mix. The open landscape slowly gives way to signs of the capital ahead. Billboards, gas stations, and the faint outline of Santiago's skyline. The road merges into one of the most important arteries in the country, the Americo Vespucio Loop Road.
The Vespucio network, named after the Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci, circles Santiago like a belt, allowing cars and freight to bypass the crowded downtown core. It's part of a broader plan to manage the sprawl of a city that now holds over 7 million people.
Here, the character of the drive changes. Industrial zones line the sides, warehouses, small factories, and repair yards. On one side, you might glimpse patches of older neighborhoods. On the other, new apartment blocks and commercial strips. The city rises around you in layers.
Soon, we join the eastern segment, known as Autopista Vespucio Oriente. It's a newer, modern highway that threads through Santiago's more affluent communes. One of its most striking features lies ahead, the Túnel La Pirámide.
La Pirámide, the pyramid, gets its name from a hill near Cerro San Cristobal, whose triangular profile resembles a pyramid. For years, drivers wound around it on narrow roads. Today, the highway dives directly beneath it through this state-of-the-art tunnel, linking the northwest with the southeast of the city.
As you enter, the change in atmosphere is almost cinematic. The sunlight fades, replaced by long lines of overhead lamps reflecting on clean concrete walls. Beneath you is the bedrock of Cerro San Cristobal, the great green hill that dominates Santiago's skyline. On top of it stands the 30-meter statue of the Virgin Mary, overlooking the city, a symbol seen from almost everywhere in the capital.
It's a reminder of how the city has learned to build with rather than against its terrain. The tunnel was a massive engineering project designed to reduce congestion while preserving the parkland above. Every meter here was planned with seismic safety in mind. Ventilation shafts, drainage systems, and reinforced linings to withstand Chile's powerful earthquakes.
Emerging on the other side, daylight floods in again. The scenery shifts dramatically. You're no longer in semi-industrial Santiago, but in the polished heart of its east side, Las Condes. This is one of the wealthiest and most modern areas in Chile. Wide avenues, tree-lined medians, and glass-fronted towers signal the city's evolution into a regional financial hub. You'll notice luxury apartments, embassies, restaurants, and small plazas all blending into a clean, organized grid.
Turning on to Alonso de Córdoba, you pass through what locals call the Design District. This is where Chile's most exclusive boutiques, galleries, and showrooms live, an avenue that could easily belong in Paris or Milan. Elegant cafes spill out onto the sidewalks, and art installations brighten the corners. It's a symbol of Santiago's modern ambitions.
Continuing on to Avenida Manquehue, you follow one of the district's main arteries. The name Manquehue comes from Mapudungun, the language of the Mapuche people, and means place of the condor. It's fitting. This area rises toward the foothills where condors still soar above the Andes.
Along this road, you'll see sleek office buildings, private clinics, and apartment complexes with manicured gardens. The pace of life here feels organized and professional, an image Santiago's eastern communes carefully cultivate.
Your destination, Integra Médica Manquehue, appears ahead on the right. It's one of Chile's leading private medical centers, part of a network that serves thousands daily. Las Condes is home to many of the country's best hospitals, schools, and businesses, a reflection of Santiago's deep social contrasts, where modern prosperity often sits just a few kilometers away from struggling neighborhoods.
Now, the journey turns back north. Leaving the clinic, you drive down Avenida Manquehue Sur before turning on to Cristobal Colón. This avenue, named after Christopher Columbus, cuts across much of the city's eastern sector. It's lined with tall trees and quiet residential streets. Here, life feels calmer. Families walking dogs, kids in uniforms heading home from school, people stopping for coffee in small corner bakeries.
As you continue, the traffic thickens once more, leading you toward the familiar curve of Avenida Américo Vespucio. It's one of those roads that seems to never sleep.
moving an endless stream of cars in both directions. Santiago's rhythm depends on it.
The highway rises onto ramps and merges that feed back into Vespucio Oriente, the route toward the Pirámide Tunnel once again. Streetlights flicker on as the city's afternoon light deepens. You glide back into the tunnel, and once again the world narrows into a ribbon of orange light and sound.
The tunnel walls hum faintly as you pass through. It's a moment to reflect on how seamlessly infrastructure connects lives today. What once took hours over winding roads now takes minutes underground.
Exiting the tunnel, you cross the Puente Centenario, the Centennial Bridge. To your left, Cerro La Pirámide slopes downward. To your right, the glass towers of Ciudad Empresarial gleam in the sunlight. Ciudad Empresarial is one of Santiago's largest business districts, a planned campus of offices, conference centers, and restaurants built in the 1990s. It symbolizes Chile's economic boom years and its shift toward a knowledge-based economy.
Driving north, the scenery opens once again. The hills of Huacharaba rise in the distance, and the air begins to feel less dense. Gradually, the signs of urban sprawl fade. The buildings lower, the spaces widen, and soon the horizon stretches out once more toward Colina.
You rejoin Autopista Los Libertadores, heading back to where the journey began. This highway is more than a commuter route. It's part of an international corridor connecting Santiago with Mendoza, Argentina, through the high mountain pass of Los Libertadores. For centuries, traders, soldiers, and travelers have crossed these same valleys on their way to and from the Andes.
It's humbling to think that a path once taken on horseback or by ox cart is now a sleek expressway carrying thousands each day.
As you travel north, the air clears and the landscape reopens. The Andes remain your silent companions to the east, towering, snow-dusted, timeless. To the west, the coastal mountains mark the edge of the Central Valley, Chile's agricultural heartland.
Signs for Chicureo appear again. Here, the story circles back. This once rural district has become one of the symbols of Santiago's suburban expansion. Private developments, international schools, and large supermarkets, like the Jumbo you'll see ahead, now serve a community that barely existed 20 years ago.
What used to be quiet farmland is now a carefully planned suburb with lakes, parks, and cycling paths. Yet just beyond the new neighborhoods, the old countryside still lingers. Dusty roads, adobe walls, and long views across open fields.
Thank you for watching Mundane Marvels and SPG Photography on YouTube. Welcome to my life in Latin America, unfiltered, unexpected, and unforgettable.